7 News on your side at 4 starts now.
As we come on air, we are getting several updates on stories developing across the DMV. In Virginia, a story that will have you shaking your head. A little girl abandoned in a parking lot. Her parents nowhere to be found.
And Metro's board of directors is getting an update on plans to have trains move faster. It's something that's gotten a lot of reaction on social media. And we're also pressing D.C. leaders for answers amid the city's crime issues.
John Rogers is at the alert desk. He has an update on former President Trump's defamation trial. We'll have more from him in just a minute. But first, let's go to 7 News' Jay Korf for an update on that case involving a toddler found in Alexandria. Jay, you spoke.
Little girl is okay. Thanks again, Jay.
Former President Donald Trump took the stand just a couple of hours ago to testify in his own defense during the E. Jean Carroll defamation trial. Last year, the president was found liable for making defamatory statements against her. So in this trial, a jury is trying to decide how much money the president must pay her in damages.
Basin, that's where it's weather is not so great. You can look right now and you can see what's going on over toward Key Bridge and the fog underneath the bridge. Traffic thankfully is moving just fine as we head out of Georgetown or into Roslyn, depending on which way you're going. We do have a fog alert for you. That is from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. tonight until early Friday morning. A risk of widespread fog with visibility down to less than a mile in many locations. But look at these temperatures right now, 64 downtown. And tomorrow we could be looking at temperatures in the middle to upper 60s to close to 70 degrees. Hourly outlook this hour, we're looking at temperatures in the mid 50s.
Cars on the railway soon. Metro leaders discussed a plan to speed up trains. 7 News' Tom Rousey is live in Rockville with the details. And Tom, break this down. Weekend for Red Line riders. The entire northeast branch of the line will close. Here's what you need to know. There will be no trains between Tacoma and Glenmont starting Saturday. Shuttle buses will be provided. Now, this is to replace a switch and improve communication lines along the track. Work should be done in time for Monday's commute. All other lines could help rescue crews save lives. Today, district leaders announced the start of the Whole Blood program. It will train more paramedics in giving blood transfusions while en route to hospitals.
Is social media becoming a public health crisis? New York City thinks so by becoming the first major city in the country to designate social media as a public health emergency.
Dozens of states are already taking legal action against certain platforms for
School day. That's because the Virginia Senate just passed a bill that would allow school boards to decide whether to ban cell phones during school hours.
Now know who will replace Wes Unseld Jr. as head coach of the Washington Wizards. The team announcing today that lead assistant Brian Keefe will be the team's interim head coach. Unseld Jr. will no longer lead the team, but is moving to a position with the front office. Unseld Jr. served as head coach since July of 2021. A search for
it's going to be a blowout, I think, between both teams going head to head. I'm looking forward to it.
But then, if they play the Lions.
Okay, here's the thing.
Lions.
I want the Lions to win. I want that Cinderella story.
A lot of folks, myself included.
Well, it's a concern that has millions of families all over the U.S. worried. The rise in childhood food insecurity. More families are reporting finding it harder each day to get food on the dinner table. Betty Cross from our sister station in Austin, Texas, has a look at a program designed to make sure children have enough to eat year-round.
Cross reporting. People here at home are stepping up to make sure kids don't go hungry. The Capital Area Food Bank says 32% of people in the DMV experienced food.
You're watching 7 News on your side at 4.
If you're going to spend some time outdoors tonight, prepare for some foggy skies. We are on fog alert and plan for reduced visibility this evening. Behind us, you can see some pictures of the Capitol, Loudoun County, and the tidal basin.
Looking a little hazy or dreary out there. We're seeing some drizzle. 7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin in the First Alert Weather Center with an updated forecast. And Steve, a lot going on this weekend. The big game, too, and you're watching it all.
You got it. Fog of the meat.
AI protections for Virginia residents. Last week, we told you about the governor's latest executive order, which adds guidelines for how AI is used in education at all levels and adds standards for the use of AI in government agencies. The order also calls on the highway last week. You could see in this video, a state trooper is talking with somebody there when another driver comes and sideswipes that car. Now that passing SUV, well, it did stop and then flip several times. Over there, you see the black one. This is just crazy video here. So the car was going so fast that the impact shot the trooper backwards before he...
It's just insane. We're so glad that he is okay. Well, this is a good time then to remind you about Virginia's Move Over law. And the legislation went into effect last year. The law requires drivers to move over or slow down for stopped vehicles that have their hazard lights on. And before, drivers only had...
are trying to work out the current state of the new and used car market. Data shows since the pandemic, new car prices have gone up 30%, and used car prices also reached a record high in 2020. But there's a good news if you are looking to buy a car this year. Prices are expected to go down, and prices are looking pretty good. 7 News, Melanie. My husband's probably like, I'm always looking for a car. So
we were talking about our shoes earlier,
no
and
car.
that's that's
Very
what I'm
different
looking for.
from a car, right?
Yes. Okay, so I walked out the door. It was so muggy. I said, is this summertime in D.C.?
Yeah, it feels a little sticky, and we have one more day tomorrow, and then after that, you're going to say...
Growing backlash for that proposal that would move the Wizards and Caps out of D.C. and across the river to Alexandria.
We have team coverage on how the move will impact local businesses. John Rogers is at the alert desk with more on another big meeting set for tonight. But first, we go to John Gonzalez, who has reaction from those against the whole. After the pandemic hit the service industry hard, we are seeing signs of a rebound. The National Retail Federation says data shows restaurants across the U.S. are recovering. National correspondent Janae Bowens explains the reason for the boom now and what it could mean for your next.
Of a condominium complex, and police tell us they have now tracked down family members.
There, of course, are still many unanswered questions in this case. 7 News' Jay Korf is live in Alexandria. And Jay, I know you've been asking police for updates. What are they telling you so far?
Yeah, so Michelle and Scott, we've been asking all afternoon. We're waiting for another update, but this last update was
Critical procedure to help save lives, and it comes as the city is trying to curb a rise in crime.
Yeah, soon first responders will be able to give blood to trauma patients out in the field. And tonight, we're hearing from a shooting survivor. 7 News' Carolyn Patrikas is live in Northwest to explain the new program with the Red Cross. Carolyn.
Yeah, Scott, Michelle. So when a medical emergency happens, they say every second counts. So in the
Get right to 7 News Chief Meteorologist Veronica Johnson to walk us through how bad it is going to be.
Yeah, this is what we talked about last night, how I thought that we would have thicker fog for the morning hours, right? Okay, so take a look, because this photo here from Scott Thuman right over there. Yeah, look at the fog on the Potomac developing, and it is going to get more widespread as we get deeper into the evening and overnight. It's why your first alert weather team, we're going with the fog alert starting at 9 p.m. and continuing until about at least 7 a.m. Friday. So we've got, again,
Line riders this weekend. 4 stations between Tacoma and Glenmont will shut down Saturday and Sunday, and it's all because of construction on Maryland's Purple Line project. Free shuttle buses will be available. The work should be done in time.
Smith says witnessing violent behavior in person or through video games does desensitize kids to behavior that should not be tolerated. Now, with so many kids committing crimes, Virginia Attorney General is spending millions of your dollars to try to get them to stop. 7 News investigative reporter Mitch Blocker is following that money. Hey, Mitch.
Hey, Virginia's chief law enforcement officer is spending those millions all on a mass media campaign to tell kids to stop carrying guns and to stop breaking the law. Now, he thinks this is a good deal, and in the next half hour, we're
that out of nowhere, right? In some of the low-lying areas, anywhere near bodies of water. But thank you again for that.
No, of course it was. I mean, it was beautiful.
It
out,
was.
But obviously, you do have to be aware.
Right. Yeah. So a little explainer here: fog over the ground and fog over the.
football's biggest stage, the football journey of our Toyota Athlete of the Week. It's not over quite yet. We'll introduce you to him coming up next. Stay with us. It's good to be great, but these days it's great to be good. Just weeks ago, D.C. native Cam Good wrapped up his college football career the best. The support of his family, especially his mom, who, get this, was actually his first ever defensive coordinator back during his Pee Wee days. He says he has always played to make both his family and his coaches proud. And Scott, Michelle, I think that was one of the biggest things he said. It was just instilling belief. I think that was one of the things his parents just truly gave him. And he said, you know what, I have the confidence to be successful. And that thing about his mom being his first defensive coordinator.
I know.
Well,
I think he's the real MVP.
I think so too, yes.
But he's so appreciative. I mean, it was
Yes.
all thank you for these opportunities.
100%.
I don't need the food. I mean, he was like all into appreciating what he's been afforded. It's great to see.
100%, and that is certainly a guy you want to root for. And
Yeah.
we're going to see him on an NFL team one of these days. I'm going to speak it into existence.
It's all good. Coverage of what's being done to stop crime and save lives. Good evening, I'm Michelle Marsh.
And I'm Scott Thuman. We are continuing to push for answers after the announcement of CBS in Columbia Heights is closing.
CBS won't say exactly why they're shutting that location down, but our Megan Clark joins us in studio. And Megan, you're taking residents' frustrations and concerns straight to leaders. So what's the response so far?
Well, Michelle, Scott, yeah, some people don't feel safe seeing shelves stripped bare like these at that CVS you just mentioned, and they're just done. Member in the district, and we asked, what is your message to people who don't feel safe shopping because of the retail crimes, empty shelves, and flash mobs? And so far, we've received one response from Councilmember Brooke Pinto, and she highlighted how passing her Secure DC omnibus bill will help fight retail theft. We'll share the other responses when we receive those up with this story, and you can find it on WJLA.com.
View from inside the Alaska Airlines 737 MAX 9 plane right next to where the door plug used to be. I mean, imagine you're sitting where I'm standing, this close to it, and taking out your phone, feeling the air rushing in. I know what you're thinking. That's not something you want to imagine.
While the CEO, Capitals and Wizards owner Ted Leonsis is trying to get ahead of criticism that may come his way. In a lengthy letter to fans and residents in leaving D.C., he invoked Amazon faster, in many cases, up to 75 miles an hour.
The transit agency says it will save time and money, but would it be safe to increase train speeds? Our Tom Rousey asked Metro's general manager.
For the area, so not just that river fog like we've had so a good part of the day, but
And now, the Toyota Sports Desk, sponsored by your Toyota dealers.
The coaching cycle for every NFL offseason is a fascinating watch. This year, we started with 7 head coach openings. Right now, there are only 2 left. You have the Seahawks, and of course, you have the Washington Commanders. All signs point to Lions, the Washington Wizards today. Wes Unseld Jr., no longer the head coach. He's been kicked upstairs to be a front office advisor. Now, this guy, Brian Keefe, that is the interim head coach of the Wizards for the foreseeable future. The team said they will look for their next head coach in the offseason.
7 News, on your side at noon.
And thank you so much for joining us this Tuesday. I'm Megan Clark, and you may have seen some sprinkles today, a few of them. I saw some on my car. Meteorologist Steve Rudin is tracking just how much rain we might be getting. Hi, Steve.
Hi there. Not a whole lot of rain out there as we move through the afternoon and then into the evening. A few showers and a little bit of drizzle, but look at the fog over the tidal basin right now. And those conditions are going to stay like that as we move through the remainder of the afternoon. And then
Explosion in Anacostia damaged a daycare center, and the staff and the 16 children at Baby Einstein Child Development Center all got out safe. Positive uses for Apple's AirTags in stopping car thefts, especially in D.C. But now some police departments around the country are out with a warning. People are using the tags to stalk for the MAX 9 jets to resume flying as early as this weekend. All of this as the company's CEO is on Capitol Hill answering questions from lawmakers. We get more now from ABC's Ike out of Florida. And another D.C. sports team will be searching for a new head coach. What we've learned about the Wizards head coach moving into a new role. All right, welcome back. And you're busy tracking a little bit of everything
there's
over the next
fog
24 hours.
and there's showers and mild temperatures. I know you like that.
And what is this 70s thing?
Well,
what is this?
Not 70s. Let's try to hit maybe at least
60s.
70 or the 60s. Will sound pretty good tomorrow. It's not going to last.
Morning as some of that snow is finally melting away. Meteorologist Steve Rudin is here with some of the changes we got to be watching for over the next few days. Hi, Steve.
Hi there. Not much snow left depending on your location inside around the Beltway. If you have some higher piles that do remain, they're still there. But here's Dirt Farm Brewery over into Bluemont, Virginia. Remember yesterday we saw how their patio was totally covered with snow? Not the case. And by this time tomorrow, all of that will be totally gone. Check out our temperatures right now, nearing 60 downtown, mid-60s in Chantilly.
7 News is asking a security question today that deals with your cell phone. How did a Maryland woman lose $17,000 even though she had two-factor authentication on, and she had that on all her accounts? As security experts tell I-Team investigator Scott Taylor, 12-year-old boy from D.C. was arrested for assault and robbery, and last weekend, a 14 and 15-year-old were arrested for armed carjacking in the district. 7 News anchor and health and wellness reporter Victoria Sanchez spoke with a child psychiatrist about the alarming trend of kids committing crimes.
I'm sure you think about this as parents, and as a mom, I wonder what's going on in these kids' lives and what are we not teaching?
Jon Stewart is set to return to The Daily Show after 9 years, and he'll host on Monday nights and serve as executive producer. ABC's Chris Connolly has
7 News on your side at 11 starts now. We begin with a breaking news alert.
And that breaking news, Prince George's County Police have all hands on deck right now searching for this person of interest you see on your screen. They believe this person is responsible for hitting multiple pedestrians in separate incidents, at least 3 of them, and several stabbings as well, including from police headquarters. John, we're going to start with you to tell us how all of this happened in just about an hour and a half time span.
Yeah, very quick and scary crime spree. Authorities say this all started just after 5 tonight in Capitol Heights in the Forest Park and Ritchie Road.
To the west, Prince William County to include Culpeper too, and up to the north, Howard County, Montgomery County, and Loudoun County too. So these are all the areas that National Weather Service will be reevaluating. Hey, I'm just going with a fog alert until 7 a.m. I'll extend it that far because I really think that even in the morning there'll be at least some patchy fog around the area. So I want you to get up early. Make sure you also tune in, watching our folks on the 7 News starting at 4:30 a.m. This is what it looks like, your worst conditions right now with the fog.
Listening session about the proposed sprawling arena and entertainment complex at Potomac Yard. Our Carl Willis listened in as leaders worked to calm fears about how that project would impact the community as well as attack here.
Yeah, Scott, right now it looks like this was not a random stabbing. Fairfax County Police tell us they are in the early stages of this investigation, but the victim and suspect do appear to know each other.
Tonight, a local animal shelter is back open after being shut down for weeks because of a deadly dog virus. The Prince George's County Animal Services facility says it's been 10 days now since there were any symptoms. Any of the animals taking medicine who are adopted. New video showing the exact moment the steeple of a historic Connecticut church comes crashing down. The roof also giving way, leaving a gaping hole. It happened in New London this afternoon. First responders say one woman was inside the church when it happened. Fortunately, she is okay. And tonight we also have video showing the aftermath. Take a look at what is left. You can see that huge pile of rubble. The stone building dates back to around 1850, and the city says they're not aware of any work being done on the property.
And now, the Toyota Sports Desk, sponsored by your Toyota dealers.
A memorable shakeup in an otherwise forgettable season. This morning, Wes Unseld Jr. out as head coach of the Washington Wizards and moved to the front office. The team will look for his replacement in the offseason, but in the meantime, top assistant Brian Keefe, he has been named the interim head coach, and well, he got right to work today.
Do we ever expect another 70 coming up?
Not anytime soon.
Okay.
So
I'm over here with my fingers.
enjoy tomorrow. Enjoy tomorrow.
Well, collectively holding our breath just in case you said yes. All right, VJ, thanks very much. And thank you for joining us tonight. Jimmy Kimmel live coming up next. Have a good evening, everyone.